From the ashes of humble beginnings, rise the sense of regeneration, signaling the dawn of a new age. The foundations of the old and antiquated, now demolished, and in its place the newly built pillars of fearlessness and opportunity. Dreams are clearer, expectations are set higher, and the quest for championship gold is even stronger than it's ever been before. At one time or another, everything goes through a period of evolution. The world of wrestling is no different. Welcome to a new age. Welcome to a new era. Welcome to a new FWE.
Good evening, everyone, inside the brand new FWE Fantasy Dome as we welcome you to our FWE Extra episode since Guardians of the Ring, looking ahead to Bash at Tatooine. I'm Seth Cole alongside of Jack Mitchell, and how about the match we've got here for our main event tonight, Jack?
This is chaos, a TLC match between Carson Gum and Elmo for the Wayfinder Cruiser Championship. I mean, I can't wait to see who comes out on top of this one, but it's going to be some madness in the middle of the ring here.
Absolutely. Carson Gum, now a two-time Cruiserweight champion. Elmo, a former champion in his own right. They take this level to new heights, both figuratively and literally, but we're going to kick off the evening with a little mixed gender tag team action.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, Anthony, Matt, and Danny Brooks.
Husband and wife combination here. Anthony McCreary, Autumn Brooks, and of course going to be a bit of a busy week here for Autumn Brooks, not only tagging with Anthony here tonight, but the woman that's going to stand across the ring from her this evening, she will be defending the women's hardcore title against this Thursday night on FWE.
And their opponents, Prince Oli and the Diamond Princess, the Outsiders.
This past Thursday night, there was certainly quite a high sense of tension. Jasmine basically given an ultimatum, one last opportunity to gain a title, bring gold to the Disney Queens, or she may very well not have a future in the faction. She was able to make good and now has a shot at the hardcore title.
She's going to be doing everything she can when she gets that matchup to make sure that she can bring championship gold home for the first time here in FWE. And you notice that she's starting the match with Autumn here as well, so she's going to probably go as aggressive as she possibly can. She went for a drop kick there. It did not connect.
Both these women obviously know each other from this past Thursday night. They went one-on-one in a non-title match. Jasmine got the victory, hence why she is the number one contender. Is a couple of miscues by both women here. A miss on that springboard moonsault by Autumn Brooks, but second time that they're squaring up here. I think there's going to be really no secrets between the two of them when eventually we get to that third matchup here on Thursday night.
They're certainly going to know each other's playbook when we get to that point, but this matchup could just all be about wearing them down. It may not necessarily be as much about the win as it is dealing out punishment to your future opponent, at least when it comes to these two.
Now for both of these women, you can score a victory here tonight by pinning your opponent. You can also win if either Aladdin pins Anthony or Anthony pins Aladdin. But how motivated do you think both Autumn and Jasmine are to be the ones to get the pinfall victory here? Maybe build some momentum on either the champion or the challenger side going into that title match.
I think they're going to be super motivated to do so. You go into a championship match knowing that you have a pinfall victory or a submission victory over your future opponent. That's going to be a huge win for your mentality.
Autumn Brooks in control for the moment here. Was thinking about maybe a springboard move off the ropes. Thinks better of it. Instead, Irish whips Jasmine off the ropes. And now up and down with the backbreaker. Cover in here on Jasmine by Autumn. And a kick out early at 1.
Oh, big kick.
Autumn Brooks, of course, won the Women's Hardcore Championship from Jessica Shelton, a woman that she actually brought in to FWE. Autumn Brooks has held that title now for 50 days and would like to continue that reign, but title could be in jeopardy going into this Thursday night, as now we're going to see for the first time the men enter the matchup here, Anthony McCurry and Aladdin. It was interesting looking at this matchup on the card coming into tonight, as here's a cover immediately by Aladdin on Anthony, and only going to get a 1 count, but these two did not face off against each other, but they have something in common. Both were on the losing end in the semifinals of the Men's Guardians of the Ring tournament. Aladdin lost to Flynn Rider, Anthony lost to the eventual winner of the tournament, Shaggy Rogers.
There's kind of a little what if you will, between these two. What would have happened if they ended up advancing in that tournament?
Anthony, of course, a former tag team champion back during his days with the Family. The Family have the tag team titles again, but now in the possession of Ed and Eddie. We saw them defeat the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back at the Guardians of the Ring PLE.
Yeah, the history between the Family and the Ninja Turtles as well is definitely not one that's a short one either. As look out here, Aladdin. Anthony going to be setting him up for thinking powerbomb. No, drops him into the top turnbuckle.
Almost a modified Snake Eyes there in a way. And now Anthony going to wear Aladdin out here in the corner.
Knee right to the throat, going to wear Aladdin down.
Again, we
Going
didn't
up top.
document this, but you may have. Oh, yep, hold on. Whoa,
Oh.
big splash by Anthony on Aladdin. Normally we see Aladdin do the high flying maneuvers here in the ring, and Jasmine gonna break that up at 2 as Anthony almost scored the pinfall for his team. Kimura lock. Kimura lock locked in here on Aladdin. Aladdin nowhere really close to that bottom rope. Is he gonna tap out? Oh, and smart. Knees right to the back of the head to fight out of that submission move.
Irish whip off the rope. Drop kick from Aladdin.
Didn't even take Anthony off his feet, though.
Yeah, but he's still dishing out punishment. Oh, he might be setting up for a pedigree. Instead, drops him across the knee. Getting a fight out of this grapple. I mean, this is some good offense between these two right now, but they're also taking turns, kind of dodging each other's moves as well. Another reversal by Anthony.
And it may go without saying, but for those that may be tuning into their very first FWE episode, mixed tag rules. The men fight the men, the women fight the women. So if Anthony were to tag in Autumn, Jasmine would come in, vice versa. If Aladdin were to tag in Jasmine, Autumn would come in. Uh-oh. Anthony's not going to like being in this area. He's in the drop zone. Splash by Aladdin. Cover is in, and Autumn's going to break it up.
Without any hesitation, Autumn sprinting into the ring to try to break that one up.
Aladdin's not done. Off the ropes, got caught! Powerbomb by Anthony.
That was a huge power bomb, and now going to go for the submission again.
Got the Kimura lock locked in once again here on Aladdin. Aladdin is tapping out. The Rockers pick up the victory.
Here are your winners, Anthony Mack and Danny Brooks, the Rockers.
Somewhat interesting, we saw the women start out this matchup, but the men finished it, which says to me, Autumn and Jasmine both might maybe be close to 100% going into that Intercontinental Hardcore Championship matchup this coming Thursday night. And up next, how about this rivalry? Gunther, Gaston, next.
Hey, Susan, how you doing? Congratulations on retaining the Cruiserweight title back at Gardens of the Ring.
Oh, thank you, Widow. That means a lot. Gosh, I'll tell you, it feels great to be able to finally be a fighting champion here in FWE.
Hold up, you said you want to be a fighting champion. That's interesting because I kind of feel like since you won the title in that steel cage match, last PLE was the first time you actually defended that belt.
Wait, what exactly are you saying? I'm the inaugural Women's Cozy Kong Cruiserweight Champion. I've held this belt for over 100 days. Are you saying that I don't deserve this?
No. I'm just pointing out the facts. Fighting champion, one title defense, it just doesn't seem to add up.
Well, maybe you'd like to find out just how much of a fighting champion I am. Maybe you'd like to take me on for the belt.
Look, if you're offering me a shot at that belt, I'm not going to turn it down. Heck, I'm a former hardcore champion, so beating you for that belt probably is nothing.
All right, Widow, you got your match. I'm going to Commissioner Woody, and I'm going to have him set up this championship match tonight.
Okay, but just remember, you asked for this.
Did I just hear that right? Are we getting ourselves a Cozy Kong Cruiserweight Championship match this evening?
It sounds like it. I mean, they're going to Commissioner Woody right now as we speak. I think we're going to have ourselves a Cruiserweight Championship defense on the women's side.
Scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing in at 202 pounds, Nick James.
That news, that means that both the men's and the women's cruiserweight titles will be defended here tonight. But we get ready now for, I guess we could call this the Nick Gunther Redemption Tour, as we saw him this past Thursday night make his return to FWE. We saw maybe the unthinkable, himself and RJ Bishop, Vicious and Delicious, teamed up again for one night only and defeated the Hurt Business. But a lot of history here between Nick Gunther and his opponent this evening.
Certainly going to be quite a throwback for us here. I'll explain in just a moment.
From France, weighing in at 215 pounds, Gavin.
This was all the way back when FWA was first being it wasn't even a televised series. We just had a few televised matches here and there, and off the air is when Nick Gunther became the first ever United States champion in FWE, and Gaston was the man who ended up taking that title away from him.
Only 3 individuals have held the United States Championship here in FWE, and we're about to have 2 of them in the ring. The only other one, the guy who's currently holding the belt, has held it for over 250 days, that being Matt McIntyre.
Just a ridiculous reign for Matt McIntyre, but before he held on to that, Gaston held on to that title for quite a long time. I mean, he took it off of Nick. It wasn't easy to win that title either. He took that off of Nick, and I think it was a 10-man eliminator gauntlet match, Falls Count Anywhere as well, so tough stuff by Gaston to be able to win that title, and he and Nick are going to be facing one-on-one in the ring tonight. Kind of crazy how I remember that match, because that was my debut match in FWE as well.
I was going to say, your memory goes a lot further back than I did, so I'm not even going to argue that your information's wrong.
These notes go back a long way, let's just say.
Interesting, this matchup here tonight as well, because, you know, you kind of think about what Nick Gunther said last week. He's trying to fight off some mental demons. He was physically fit to return to the ring long before now, but wasn't sure if he was ready mentally. And here this evening, as we mentioned, the fact that Gaston was the one to take the United States Championship belt off of him, maybe an opportunity here to gain a little level of revenge.
Maybe. I mean, It's certainly, I almost wonder whether or not this is considered water under the bridge for these two, just because it was such a long time ago. But nevertheless, Nick seems really determined right now to prove that he's on his redemption path. So he's going to give it everything he can. And I mean, you know, a guy with an ego like Gaston's is not going to back down from that challenge.
Nice kick there by Nick Gunther, using the ropes to kind of springboard over, get a little extra momentum, and now Gunther going up to the top, ushering Gaston to his feet. Gaston obviously the larger opponent, but big moves like that will take him off his feet. Nick into the cover here on Gaston, and only going to get a 1 count.
Good start, though, for this match if you're Nick. Continue that flurry of offense.
Last time we saw Gaston in the ring, if I recall correctly, it was that 6-man, 3-on-3 tornado tag match where he teamed up with Hades and the Shadow Lord, the Disciples of Darkness, to take on the Rockers and Dylan Poteet, who was a fill-in that night for RJ Bishop. Of course, we know that at the upcoming Bash at Tattooing PLE, it will be RJ Bishop, the Shadow Lord, once again. Tri-Wizard Championship on the line, but more important than that, other ramifications involved, as RJ Bishop has announced if he loses, we will no longer again see the Burger Persona, but if the Shadow Lord loses, we will finally know the identity of the masked figure.
That is something you really want to keep an eye on as the cover is in. Kick out at 1. And one thing I wanted to bring up as well while you were talking is that Nick Gunther showing a little bit of ring rust there, a couple of springboard moves that didn't connect. He's still working his way back in there, but there's a coup de grace.
Cover in here by Nick, trying to pick up a pinfall victory. His first one-on-one win, and he's going to come up just short there as Gaston able to get that right shoulder off the mat. Yeah, you're right, because we go back to that tag match with RJ Bishop this past Thursday night as well. We saw a little bit of ring rust, a couple of mistakes there by Gunther, and you got to wonder if that's going to make the road a little bit bumpy here on this redemption tour.
Certainly not going to make life easy, but you got to roll with the punches and do what you can, and that's what Nick is trying to do right here in this matchup with Gaston.
Sliding forearm there by Nick Gunther, going to keep Gaston down at least for the moment. Up to the middle rope goes Nick. Oh! I believe that was a Meteora there, double knees, takes down Gaston, and big boot. Gaston already back up to his feet and going to dispose Nick to the outside.
Something busted Gaston. I can see a big gash in his forehead as there's a heat-seeking elbow to the outside of the ring.
Normally Gaston, one of those ground and pound type wrestlers. We don't normally see him go up to the top rope, but pulling out all the stops here against a former foe. As referee Ernest Wright beginning the 10 count here, but doesn't look like he's going to really need to use it as both individuals back in when he reaches the count of 2.
To those high-flying maneuvers, but what's the word that we kept using back at Guardians of the Ring? Evolution. As we enter this new era, everybody feels like they're changing their playbooks, upping their game, doing whatever they can to be a lot more competitive inside the ring.
Think about this as well. Not only Nick Gunther trying to get himself back into the swing of things here, but we heard him last week say he wants to have RJ Bishop's back in this rivalry with the Shadow Lord. Obviously, I admire the loyalty, but one has to wonder, is Nick painting a target on his own back? We know the Shadow Lord knows no bounds. We've seen him in rivalries with Cole Eastwood, Dylan Poteet, most recently RJ Bishop.
Yeah, I mean, the Shadow Lord, he's a dangerous guy as well. We saw how he got into the feud with RJ in the first place. The Shadow Lord was running out to the ring to attack Cole Eastwood. RJ stepped up to defend him, and the Shadow Lord was none too pleased about it.
Oh, I believe that might have been the Philadelphia Special. The jumping clothesline by Nick Gunther. And now, headed to the corner, and we know what's next. Zach Wheeler, locked and loaded.
Good night.
Cover in by Gunther on Gaston. Is this enough? Gunther gets his first singles victory since his return.
Here's your winner, Nick.
That's no small feat to be able to make your return and a week later, or not even a full week later, get a pinfall victory over somebody like Gaston.
Hey, so far since his return, 2-0 in FWE. Doesn't look like a weak link any longer as Gunther picks up an important victory here over a former foe who used to take it, who back in the past took the United States Championship from around his waist. And up next, folks, we just had this made impromptu. Can you believe it? Second title defense for Susan Storm. She takes on Black Widow for the Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship.
Hell, what's wrong with this button? Ernie did it. That fat bastard Ernie did it again, didn't he? I swear to God, I'm gonna drop this damn elevator on him. Bless Ernie, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you, Ernie.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Women's Cruiserweight Championship.
Well, as we get ready for this, I guess we could honestly say impromptu Women's Cozy Cone Cruiserweight Championship matchup. What about what we just saw right there? It looks like the shenanigans, the pranks, if you will, of Ernie the Keebler Ralph have continued, and Robbie Gilvin is the intended victim.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that was a one-time altercation between those two when Ernie messed with Robbie's hair product, I guess we'll say.
Black Widow, you talk about manipulation. Master manipulator in her own right, of course, a secret agent, but one would have to wonder, did she genuinely have concerns about Susan Storm and her calling herself a fighting champion, or was that just a ploy to kind of goad Susan into defending the title here tonight?
I mean, that's a really fair question to ask, because I feel like the two of them kind of, you know, it's a bit of a weird interaction between the two, because I feel like the two of them are on good terms, but at the same time, I feel like Susan Storm is a little bit concerned about the fact that that was just her first title defense back at Guardians of the Ring. She wants to prove that she really is a fighting champion, but that can be a bit of a dangerous thing when you walk into a championship match that you haven't really prepared for.
Susan Storm coming into the night 136 days as champion, the inaugural Cozy Cone Cruiserweight champion, and mentioned this only her second title defense. We saw her first one at this past PLE, Guardians of the Ring, when she successfully defended against Shigo.
Cruiserweight title on the line on the women's side for the second time in the possession of Susan Storm. We'll send it to our ring announcer, Mike Rowe.
Introducing the challenger from Moscow, Russia, the Spider Black. And her opponent from Long Island, New York, the Women's Cruiserweight Champion, Sue Storm.
I love the point you brought out about preparation, because let's not forget, I believe it was about a week's preparation that Susan Storm was able to have when Shigo declared that she was going to be the #1 contender for the title. Here tonight, we're talking, what, maybe 15, 20 minutes tops that she had to prepare for this title match against Black Widow.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a factor whether or not you're ready to defend the title. But I said that point earlier, but at the end of the day, you still, as a champion in FWE, you need to be ready to defend that thing whenever, wherever, no matter what the circumstances are.
We heard both women coming out to the same entrance music, both a part of the Avengers faction here, but tonight, friends turns to foes as gold is on the line. Black Widow, a former hardcore champion, the only belt that she's held so far here in FWE, looking to add to her resume here and become the second ever female Cozy Cone Cruiserweight champion. Here we go. Most overused move in fantasy wrestling entertainment, laying in those chops, those forearms into the chest of Susan Storm.
Makes the boundary and Black Widow, look out! Oh, big elbow ringside, right in front of our announce table.
Black Widow needs to be aware, though, champion's advantage here. A count out, disqualification, and the title would not change hands. Oh! Went for that double stomp and missed, and got to be careful with that. You land just wrong, you could tweak a knee, you could twist an ankle.
Oh, I think they both went for the same type of move at the same time. Only one connected into the cover for the championship.
Are we going to have a title change here? And Susan Storm going to get the shoulder up.
Powerful kick out at one. Still plenty of life left in the champion, but Black Widow not going to slow down this onslaught as there's another springboard off the ropes.
We're only talking about maybe a week and a half since Susan Storm was in that battle with Shigo. We haven't seen Black Widow for quite a bit, so if you kind of thought about physical advantage, Black Widow, the challenger, might have that, is now dragged into a headlock here, trying to wear down Susan Storm. This is not a submission move, but you can certainly wear the opponent down for sure and set them up for something.
I mean, so far, this has been all Black Widow. Susan Storm, you talked about whether or not she's at 100%. She has not really been able to find any form of offense in this matchup so far.
And not only from a physical standpoint, but mentally prepared. Susan Storm, was she mentally prepared to defend the title here tonight? One could maybe make the argument of no, as big kick there by Black Widow. Cover is in, and we nearly just had a new champion.
I mean, this is already getting dangerously close to potential title change territory. He was leaned up on that top rope and dropped with one kick. Oh, looking for the Black Widow submission. It's locked in.
It is locked in, and look, she's got the arm that's closest to the rope, so that way Susan Storm can't reach the ropes for a submission break. But Black Widow actually going to release the hold, it looks like.
This is super one-sided.
Oh, look, good, lock it in again. More towards the center of the ring. Cinching it in, Susan Storm with nowhere to go, and Susan's gonna tap out.
You gotta be kidding me.
Just like that. New champion.
Here is your winner, and new Women's Cruiserweight Champion, the Spider Black.
Well, call it manipulation, whatever you want to. The end result is Black Widow becomes the new Women's Cruiserweight Champion.
How about that? And we could have a new Cruiserweight champion on the men's side as well. A TLC match between Carson Yum and Elmo for the men's Wayfinder Cruiserweight Championship. That's coming up next in our main event.
Welcome back to FWE, everybody, as I have the privilege of being able to talk now with the current, now two-time FWE Women's Universal Champion Poison Ivy and the former champion Elastigirl. Now, Elastigirl, we understand that you are going to be invoking your title rematch here, and you and Poison Ivy will once again fight for the belt. Now the two of you currently sit at 1 win apiece. You won the belt back at Power Up. She won the belt back from you at Guardians of the Ring. In this third match between the two of you, do you expect there to be any difference in the mentality going in as challenger once again?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm going to be going into that matchup with any different mentality than I have in our 2 previous meetings. As you say, we're currently at 1 win apiece. But I think in those matchups, both myself and Poison Ivy have been able to garner enough information to pretty much know each other's tendencies. When I went into Power Up, I was the underdog. Nobody gave me a chance. Nobody saw me as a future Women's Universal Champion, but I proved them wrong. And I feel like going into this rubber match, I feel like, again, I'm the underdog. I'm the one that's being underestimated, and I think that I'm going to be able to come out on top.
Are you actually serious? I mean, are you literally listening to the words that are coming out of your mouth right now?
Begging your pardon, Poison Ivy, I think I'm supposed to lead in with a question here.
Yo, we're the Gotham inmates, Seth, and the champ is talking, so why don't you just shut up and let the actual wrestlers hash this out?
Okay.
Now look, Helen, you may have caught me a little flat-footed when we had our matchup at Power Up. Granted, I may have underestimated you a little bit, but then I proved that, just like everybody else here in this division, I am the best. I beat you at Guardians of the Ring. I am the first 2-time Women's Universal Champion. And the first time I held this belt, I held it for over 100 days. And I'm going to do the same thing again. Nobody is going to take this belt off me. Let's be perfectly honest. The only reason that you even got a shot at this belt, even got a sniff of it, was because I personally named you the #1 contender. You would never have been in that limelight if it wasn't for me. Right now, you owe your entire career. The only reason people are talking about you is because of the efforts of myself.
Kind of hostile there, aren't we, Poison Ivy? Sounds like you might be just a little bit frustrated, but I will grant you, yes, you gave me the opportunity at Power Up, which I absolutely appreciate, but that's assuming that I never was going to get a shot at the Women's Universal Championship, and I don't think that that's right at all. At some point, I was going to fight my way up to the top of the ladder, and I was eventually going to get that belt. You just kind of expedited the process for me by naming me the #1 contender. At Power Up, I proved that I have championship caliber, and I'm going to prove it again. Take that belt off of you and join you as a 2-time FWE Women's Universal Champion.
I tell you what, I gotta admire that giddy optimism of yours, but it's a little misplaced. So honestly, I think that there's no better way to begin my second reign than to making sure you never get an opportunity to fight for this belt again so long as I am holding it, which, let's be honest, would probably be forever. So what do you say? Let's have a matchup where if you win, I never get to fight for this belt again so long as you're champion, and vice versa.
Well, if there's an opportunity to make sure that you don't fight for the belt again, especially with the attitude that you're taking on, heck, I'm in. What's your proposition?
Well, it's a simple one, Helen. If we're truly gonna find out who the best woman is, if we're gonna find out who the best woman in the entire FWE women's division is, what do you say we do it for 20 minutes, no restrictions, no rules, anything goes. Woman with the most pinfalls or submission wins. Let's do it. In a match that was the brainchild of my girl Harley, you and me, Women's Universal Championship, Gotham rules. What do you say?
A matchup that will play to your strengths, where I'm going in the underdog again? Heck, it worked at Power Up. I'm in. Let's do it.
Excellent. You'll get your title shot at the Go Home show of FWE Extra on May 16th, just prior to the Bash at Tatooine PLE. Best of luck, Helen. May the best woman win, and trust me, she will.
The following contest is a tables, ladders, and chairs for the Action Championship.
Well, this has been a night of unpredictability. How about we just mark your calendars, folks? May 16th, we're going back to Gotham Rules for the Women's Universal Championship. We've never seen that before.
From Manhattan, New York, weighing in at 195 pounds, L.O.
Just when you were beginning to think that championship, or that match type was only for the hardcore championship, now we're putting the Universal Championship on the women's side on the line in a Gotham Rules match. That's can't miss TV.
Absolutely. May 16th, folks, the go-home show to Bash at Tatooine, FWE Extra, and we now get ready for our main event, the showdown again between Elmo and Carson Gum. These two have faced off against each other twice. Elmo won the Cruiserweight title from Carson Gum. Carson won it back, and now a rubber match, if you will, between these two. TLC rules. You see that belt hanging high above the ring? Rules are simple. First one to climb the ladder, retrieve the belt, leaves tonight the Wayfinder Cruiser Champion.
Kind of compare it to the power-up ladder match, if you will. Since you got to grab something from the top, above the top of the ring.
The champion from Denton, Texas, weighing in at 235 pounds, the Action Champion,
Like the new introduction there for Carson Gum here.
One of the rare match types where the title's on the line, the champion does not come out with the belt around his waist.
Well, that will be because it's currently hanging above the ring, so he's got to go get it back if he wants to be leaving the ring with the championship still around his waist. Cruiserweight Championship, I mean, it's changed hands quite a bit. It was the first championship I held in WWE. I'm getting some thoughts in the back of my mind right now, Seth, I'll be honest.
You mentioned yourself a former champion, Cusco, Harry Potter, Elmo, and Carson Gum all have held the belt. Carson winning the belt back from Elmo at Saturday Night at Springfield, now the first two-time Wayfinder Cruiser champion. And if Elmo ends up winning tonight, he also would be a multi-time champion here in FWE.
We're going to see what kind of punishment these two can dish out to one another. Again, TLC match. You got to grab the ring, the championship from above the center of the ring, but you can use just about anything. Anything goes. There's no DQ, no countouts. I don't know why Elmo's getting over here.
Yeah, I don't know either. He just picked up that chair next to us, and Carson gonna make him pay. You're a Nagi right here. You could feel the ground shake. I know Elmo's a light little Muppet, but that didn't mean that the ground didn't shake with the impact of his body down on the floor.
Well, as we've seen, he can still dish out some punishment despite being a Muppet. So
Sure can.
proof right there as he drops Carson, jumping back into the ring. Ooh.
Double stomp there to Carson. Of course, climbing up the ladder and retrieving that title is really only half the battle. You also want to be able to incapacitate your opponent long enough, keep them down long enough that it affords you the time to be able to climb the ladder and get that title belt off the lock that currently has it suspended above the ring.
That's why just about anything goes in this matchup. You can use all kinds of weapons. It's not just a ladder match. It's a tables, ladders, and chairs match. So Elmo could use, or Carson could use just about anything that they find under the ring. Oh, I think Elmo was thinking about using the ladder as a weapon for a moment. Then he'll get dropped by Carson.
And there you go. Ladder is a means of transportation, but as you said as well, also can be utilized as a weapon as it bounced right off the skull of Elmo. And this could be over quickly. Carson up to the top, he's got his fingertips on the belt, and Elmo's gonna cut him off at the pass.
Elmo with a quick recovery, and that's a big drop for Carson. I mean, it's just about the same height as if you jump off from the top rope, and now Elmo's gonna try and take advantage of the opportunity. Grasping at that title.
Trying to win the title back. be a two-time champion, and he's going to crash and burn there as well. I mean, these are about, what would you say, maybe 7-foot, 8-foot ladders? That is a long ways down.
It really is, and I mean, again, it's kind of the same height, maybe a little bit taller from when you're jumping off the top rope, except for when you get to the top. When you get to the top of the ladder, oh, look out here.
Oh! Right on that aluminum ladder, and there's very little give.
Elmo somehow almost made a quick recovery, but then got dropped right back onto the ladder again. And now Carson's going to come looking for that steel chair he had earlier.
That same one that Elmo was going for in the early portion of the matchup. Oh, gracious.
Oh. I mean, this is all kinds of punishment. Oh, Elmo with reversal.
The head, neck, shoulder region of Carson on that Hurricane Rana made contact with the ladder.
That ladder's in a precarious spot right now, middle of the ring. Any attacks where both people are standing up is going to result in being dropped onto the ladder right now, though.
Oh, wait, well, hold on. Might have Elmo up F5. That's Carson's finishing move, and he hits it right out of the gate.
I mean, we're a little ways into the matchup, but Elmo hasn't moved since being hit with that F5.
Could this be over? Elmo starting to stir as Carson up on the top, trying to get that belt.
Elmo's going right to the side. Rough landing. Oh, what a big moonsault. Got a lot of distance on that, which meant more velocity.
A lot of height as well. A lot of suspension into the air, adding to that impact. And, oh, might have been going for a drop kick there on Carson off the apron. Carson able to dodge it, at least for the moment. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Setting him up maybe for a little 619.
Caught him right in the chest.
I think he got him on the nose as well.
Might have, yeah. Carson's nose is busted open.
Carson may have a broken nose, and that's going to make it difficult to breathe.
Oh, I think Elmo was thinking about a jawbreaker there, which would have hurt even more. Especially to that head and that jaw area, but instead, Elmo getting dropped onto his back by Carson.
Well, if you're Carson Gunn, the champion, you're certainly hoping that the trends of the evening do not carry over into this matchup. Just not long before now, we saw Black Widow win the Women's Cozy Go Cruiserweight Championship from Susan Storm, ending her over 130-day reign.
I feel like that was a little bit, I'm not sure what the word to use is here, but I feel like maybe over-eager. I think Carson just, the back of his head might have hit that ladder on that impact there. I think Susan Storm might have been a little bit over-eager to defend that title again. And I mean, I kind of don't blame her at the same time. Yes, she lost the title, but she had held that title for over 100 days. 136 days, never defended it until the Guardians of the Ring PLE, and then here tonight. So I don't blame her for wanting to be a fighting champion. That chair is completely wrecked.
Oh!
Oh, gosh.
And Carson just bounced right off of it. He's,
no.
My goodness! His head, the back of his head was still against that steel chair.
This crowd is crazy. They're chanting one more time.
Carson might be out. He might have a concussion.
Somehow, though, he's going to work his way to his feet. He knows what's going on here. Oh.
Enough wherewithal to push that ladder out from underneath Elmo. It's interesting. I kind of wondered if there'd be any scenarios here where you'd try and like pull the person up off the ladder. Most of the time we're seeing just push the ladder out from underneath. It's a quick, efficient way to make absolutely certain that they're not going to be up there close to the belt.
Elmo's in trouble here. This could land on the ladder again.
Oh my gosh, another second F5! And again, if this was a normal match, this would probably be over. 2 F5s, Carson probably would have had a pinfall victory over Elmo. But there's no pinfalls or submissions in a TLC match.
No, there's not, but Carson did not make sure that Elmo left the ring. I feel like he should have done something to take Elmo out of the ring because he's right back up to his feet. Now he pushes the ladder down.
Talk about that ladder in precarious spots. That chair there, it's badly mangled. But I feel like that's in a precarious spot as well. You end up landing your opponent in just the right spot. They're going to hit metal, not that wood frame of this ring. And now another steel chair introduced.
Crowd was chanting, "We want tables." Elmo went for the chair instead, and he's going to dish out all kinds of punishment.
And we've seen the chairs in the ladder portions of TLC. The crowd wants to have the T portion.
Uh-oh.
And we may have a third F5 incoming.
Almost still in the ring, but he's stuck in the corner. Carson does not seem to care. Oh, hold on. Quick attack to the side.
Now beginning the climb, and you could see Carson, the first time he climbed the ladder, was pretty spry. Now gingerly, slowly making his way. That just shows the physical toll that this matchup has taken.
Elmo stirring, though. Carson's going to have to be quick. Oh,
Got a
no.
hold of Carson's leg.
Oh.
Carson's going to fight him off. Is this Carson's window of opportunity?
Oh, he's climbing down. Elmo went for a... That's what he was going for, that Bulldog DDT, but it knocked the ladder down in the process.
Elmo trying to turn the tide. Could be setting him up. Whoa. Thought he might be looking for code red. Instead, Carson able to fight out of that powerbomb situation. And is he going to hit him with a fourth F5?
Oh! And I think the back of his legs might have fallen onto the ladder, and you can see Carson's feeling the effect of it as well. Both men are down.
I'll tell you something. Right there, that scenario, if I'm William Turner, I'm considering maybe coming out cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase.
I was going to say, I'm waiting for his music to hit because he could just run in, cash in, and then grab that championship, and he'd be the new Cruiserweight champion. There would be nobody that can do anything to stop him.
Carson, the first one back to his feet here. Elmo is still down. He's been hit with 4 F5s in this matchup. And still, we do not have a winner.
And I feel like Carson...
The ring.
Kendo stick. Still legal.
We've learned here in FWE, there's everything but,
Oh my.
well, maybe including the kitchen sink under there. As another tornado DDT, and now Elmo with the kendo stick.
Elmo calling for Carson to get to his feet. Springboard. Hurricane Rana connects. I think Carson partially landed on that chair that was lying there as well.
Now Elmo kendo stick in hand, targeting the midsection, just
Oh.
cracked it across the head of Carson Gum.
Now Elmo is not slowing down. Carson, he's in a
my.
world of hurt.
5-star frog splash connects for Elmo. And now
Kermit with
Elmo with ladder in hand.
Carson, though, stirring. Oh, my. Knocks him straight off the ladder. Now going to grab the ladder. Maybe for a second he was thinking about using it as a weapon. Instead, he's going to make a
I like
climb.
this, because look, he's now able to see what Elmo's doing while he's climbing the ladder.
Well, still he gets knocked off of it. It was a good call, but I honestly feel like you got to take your opponent out of the ring. I mean, these two, they've been landing some devastating attacks, but at the end of the day, they're still inside the ring, and they're still finding themselves with plenty of time to get up and stop their opponent from climbing the ladder. I feel like at some point, you've got to do something to get your opponent out of the ring completely.
It's a great point. Carson now up to the top rope. What is he thinking? Elmo scores right into the heart of Elmo.
And grab the steel chair. Thought better of it.
Oh!
Oh!
Guillotine right there, throated on the top rope. Elmo, good move there, and now Elmo looking to fly, ushering Carson to his feet.
Oh, gosh.
It's almost like a top rope bonsai drop.
Look like it. Carson is going for the steel
Oh, what
steps.
in the world?
You can't be thinking about using those. Elmo's on his way up.
Elmo beginning the climb. Carson sees it, and he'll get there in time to cut Elmo off. Just tables, ladders, and chairs, not tables, ladders, and stairs, but we've got those stairs inside the ring. How about a 5th F5? Oh, On the ladder, too.
At least one of them landed on the ladder. Elmo still hasn't moved. And Elmo's kind of lying right in the center of the ring right now. I feel like Carson has to do something to get Elmo to move because he doesn't have a whole lot of room to set that ladder up and climb
Yeah,
it.
I think he was wanting to put it in the center, but instead going to leave it there in the corner. To your point, couldn't put it where Elmo's limp body was lying. Oh! Did I think the back of his head on that drop kick may have bounced off the ladder.
I think so. We're definitely in extra innings territory right now when it comes to this matchup. I mean, the next big move is probably going to put this thing away.
And you saw Elmo just flippantly jumping over Carson's body as he begins the ascent here, looking to get that title for the second time in his career, but Carson comes there, shot to the kidneys.
Elmo falling right off the ladder. I mean, Carson, I was going to say, might think about going quick instead. He's going to think about even more punishment with the steel chair.
What more is it going to take? Oh my goodness.
Another F5?
Another one. This is the 6th F5 he has hit Elmo with. We've had F5s, kendo sticks, chairs. Stairs have been introduced into this matchup. And still, that title hangs above the ring.
Oh no.
Oh, might be setting up Code Red. And could that be it?
Carson still isn't leaving the ring. I mean, he's going to take a second to get back up to his feet, but does he have enough wherewithal to get back in there and break this one up? Yes, he does.
He's got a hold of Elmo, brings him back down to the ground.
No.
Oh my goodness. 7th F5. And could that be it? Elmo is down. Carson, hands on the title belt.
This is it.
And Carson's going to retrieve it. Carson Gum remains the Cruiser Champion in an incredible match.
Here is your winner, and still champion.
Cut the music. Sorry to
Wait,
interrupt.
what are you doing, Jack? Wait.
Carson, congrats. You've done a great job so far with the Cruiserweight title. I gotta give you props for sure. But over this last chunk of time, I've kept talking about how I have to have championship gold around my waist again. And I'm hearing people backstage have been talking about how I might be out of ways to get that done. But before we got started with the show tonight, I remembered something that I've actually talked about before. All the way back at Mortal Kombat, I lost that Wayfinder Cruiser Championship inside the Elimination Chamber. It may have changed hands a few times, but one thing hasn't changed. I still have yet to use my rematch clause. It has been sitting in my back pocket for months. So Carson, I hope you aren't busy on May 21st, because I'm finally getting my rematch. That championship was the first one I ever won in FWE, and at Bash at Tatooine, I'm bringing it back home.
Well, what an incredible announcement here, folks. We appreciate you joining us here tonight. Bash at Tatooine is looking epic.